Welcome to the Navigating Dental Insurance Podcast, where we don't take from insurance companies. Here are your hosts, Mr. Jordan Comstock and Mr. Ben Tuine. This podcast is sponsored by BoomCloud Dental Membership Software, www.boomcloudapps.com, and Veritas Dental Resources, www.veritasdentalresources.com. Enjoy the show.
Welcome to another exciting episode of the Navigating Dental Insurance Podcast. I am your co-host today, Jordan Comstock, and today we've got an awesome guest. His name is Kirk Behrent. He is the CEO and founder of Act Dental, and he also is the founder of the Best Practices Show. I'm excited to have him on our show. He's full of energy and a very fun person to learn from. So, if you guys give your full attention to Mr. Kirk Behrent.
I am pumped up. Yeah, I'm doing great.
Big fan of your show. I love it.
Hey, well, I'm a big fan of both of yours. And, you know, as you already know, this is fun. It's a great profession. Lots to talk about. Good stuff, man.
Yeah.
Totally.
I saw a YouTube clip of you. You were imitating a TV episode. I can't remember exactly what it was.
Jack Nicholson.
Nice.
Do you do that every time you lecture, or do you do certain occasions?
Well, I don't know. You know, as you guys get to know me, you're gonna see I'm not very smart at a lot of things. But like I grew up watching movies, doing imitations, and my parents were broke growing up, so I worked at Applebee's and Champ Sports Bar. I was a bartender, and I loved imitating people, having fun. And so when I got involved in dentistry like 20-some years ago, I was watching some dentists get really stressed, and I'm like, oh my gosh, look at it, he's going to blow a lid right now. And then I joked around at a little conference, and I did this little skit with another guy, and people went crazy for it. And I'm like, okay, well, that's kind of cool. And, you know, I don't know. It's just, so every once in a while, you know, a lot of times I do it, but then I don't know. I just kind of go with the energy of it, but it's fun. I really enjoy it.
I had a great time. I watched it like 5 times. I do the haka when I'm speaking. Well, sometimes I don't do it all the time, but
you should do it all the time, dog.
From time to time, like up at the Voices of Dentistry conference. I don't know if you were there or not, but
no, I wasn't. But I listened to the one where you guys in Spodak, haka. I've heard you guys talk about that a couple times, and then caught a glimpse of it. But it's awesome, man.
You know, it's that energy that you just need to. I don't know. I did it the first time I did it was at Mark Costas's second ever summit.
Yeah,
and he had 2 or 3 dentists from New Zealand and Australia. And I just got on stage, and I didn't plan this at all. I said, you know what? Doing the haka is a sign of respect in New Zealand. And I did it, and the crowd just went crazy. They just went nuts. I was like, you know what?
Totally.
Maybe we should do this all the time. Yeah. And then I saw yours. I thought, you know, this is the future of dentistry. You know, the dental conferences right there. You know, people going crazy on stage. But
well, yeah, you heard this. Like, everything's got to be edutainment now. People want to be entertained.
Totally.
They want to be enlightened. I like being entertained, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree 100%.
Exactly.
You can entertain me and educate me at the same time. That's like the magic formula.
I'm preparing for my... Well, by the way, this is the podcast, Jordan. We'll do an intro later, but I already recorded.
Oh, great. Yeah, we'll do an intro later. Great.
Well, I'm so honored to be on here, and like I feel so good that you guys can talk my language where we don't really prepare. We just kind of jump
in and go.
Hey, we'll come up with a whole title and a whole bunch of other things later. Yeah. Don't worry about that.
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
I'm in the process of preparing for the Washington State, the Pacific Northwest Dental Conference. So they gave me, I think they gave me 6 or 8 hours next Friday. And that is a lot of time. Dude. You know, they broke it up into 2 chunks. In the morning, I'm doing 4 hours, and in the afternoon, I'm doing 4 hours.
You're doing 4 hours. Holy smokes. Yeah.
I know. That's a lot. I've never done 8 hours. And so I'm preparing the presentation.
Do the haka.
So if anybody's listening that's going to be at that conference, there's going to be a part of the presentation where people are just going to be crying emotionally, and then 5 minutes later just be laughing hysterically. You know,
Nice.
And I think I've used that technique in my presentations over the years, telling a personal story just to illustrate the point of how terrible insurance is, and then building up by talking about how wonderful the dental industry is, with some humor.
Yeah.
And I like, and I noticed that your style of presenting too is very identical. In fact, yours is a lot more effective than mine in terms of the engagement. You engage with the listeners in a way that is just, I think a lot of speakers envy that, and a lot of speakers want to build up to that. So.
Well, yeah. Well, you're going to have a great time. I have no doubt you're going to have a lot of fun with those people. That's a fantastic meeting. Just very well attended, great energy. Gosh, I wish I'd come up. That's too far for me to go just to check out your lectures, but that's. I have no doubt you're going to have a great time doing it.
No, thank you. So, if you don't mind us asking, I know a lot of people know your history better than I do. I listen to your podcast every week, and so you mentioned you were a bartender. How did you get involved in dentistry?
Yeah, so I don't know. I really don't know.
I just kind of fell in it.
I woke up.
I was at the bar, and then I was in dentistry.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Now, I don't really remember what happened in between there, but no. No, I grew up, my parents, awesome parents, but we didn't really have any money growing up. It's very middle class, and my dad just taught us to work hard. So I had 4 jobs through college, and went to the University of Minnesota, tried to walk on, play football there. Didn't work out so well. Went on to University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee, graduated there, and then I just worked. I drove forklift at night. Worked at Applebee's. I always drive by Applebee's, and I look at my kids. I have 4 kids, 3 teenage daughters, and 1 10-year-old boy. I always look at my kids and I go, I was a 3-time employee of the month at Applebee's. They're like, you're so weird. And, because I loved it. It was great, I'm so weird, and, but really in the service industry, you learn how to take care of people. And I got to tell you, it brought joy to my heart. I really enjoyed taking care of people. I knew what they ate. I knew what they drank. I enjoyed making them happy. And so, I had 2 guys that would come in. One guy who was just an incredible entrepreneur. I just saw him actually a couple of weeks ago here in Milwaukee. One of my favorite mentors of all time. He owned a dental laboratory and a supply company. He said, hey, look, you'd be great in working with dentists. And I go, no, dentists are crazy. I didn't even go to the dentist. And he's like, no, come on in. And I'm like, and he taught me so much. I'm so grateful for that first experience. And, he had an idea for doing a dental supply company and running it out of the back room of a dental laboratory. And he had 7 lab trucks circulating through the city of Milwaukee. So this is way back before UPS and all that stuff. And so if you ran out of gel trade or dash gloves, we could get it to you in no time. And so I just learned how to take care of people. We had over 600 dentists as clients. And, in every industry, this isn't just dentistry. You got the top 10 that really care. They're passionate. You got the bottom 10% that would rather do anything else. And then you got the bell curve in the middle. And it's not good, bad, or indifferent. It's just that my energy came from working with the people that were really enjoying, committed to what they were doing. And I heard about this place called the Pankey Institute and some other things, which I didn't really know a lot about. And I found a unique opportunity in Scottsdale, Arizona, working with a couple, it's still a big practice management, dentistry, continuing education hub up there. And moved out there when I was 24 years old, had a great time. And one of the first courses I went to see was a course by a 64-year-old dentist. And I remember I had a mentor at the age of 24, and thank God, because I wasn't showering or anything like that. And
sounds familiar.
It was a great, it was just one of those things where you're still trying to figure out who you are. And he said, you're going to go watch a 64-year-old dentist speak for 3 days. And I'm like, I don't want to go see some 64-year-old dentist speak for 3 days. Because when you're in your 20s, you have it all figured out. And then you turn 30 and you go, wow, there's a lot I don't know. And in 40, you wonder if you know anything. And that dentist was Dr. Peter Dawson, and the course was called How to Put Your Practice in the Top 10%. And I got to tell you, I still have my workbook. It's actually right behind me. And I took all the notes, and I'm like, man, this is unbelievable. It's a 3-day course. I wrote, and I couldn't stop writing, and it really inspired me because a lot of the things I'd heard in dentistry were, go big or go home, and, people would be showing airplanes and second homes and race cars and all that kind of stuff and gorgeous dentistry. And while Peter Dawson showed some beautiful dentistry, it wasn't about that. It was like a core values exercise for me. So I don't know. It's just, it lit my fire, and, I had nothing to lose. I had no money anyway. So I was like, all right, let's do this. And I just became a certified CE junkie, and I'm still a recovering junkie in that respect. My wife thinks I'm crazy. She's like, you could sit in these courses for 5 days, can't you? I go, I could. Like, that's just weird. And I go, I know, I don't know how to stop it. So, you know, and I had a great opportunity to work with, you know, there's a great practice management company out there, Dr. Michael Schuster, who I worked with for a little bit. Then I got involved a little bit more with the Pankey Institute, got a little bit more involved with the Dawson Academy. And at the ripe old age of 27, went to see the movie Jerry Maguire, and I thought I could do this on my own. And again, I just broke it off. My wife and I had just started dating, and she says, let's do this. And so we lived in a studio apartment, and she supported me, and God is good. You know, we just, things have, you know, we were blessed. The first client I ever had, Dr. Bernie Villadiego, Chatsworth, California. And, you know, he's a big spear guy now. And he was like, look, can you help me? And he helped me as much as I was helping him. And I'm just grateful for all these relationships. And, you know how it is. Relationships drive everything. And so
Totally.
We've been on this journey now. We're in the 21st year of running our company. Our company's not a big company, but like I just love working with people that want to, you know, have a better practice and a better life. And that's kind of like our tagline. Our Act Dental, we're a coaching company, and we just, I mean, I'm no different than you. I want to study what the best do. I love people that leave, you know, success leaves clues. We heard that, but I love the people that are, you know, focused, they love their families, they aren't easily distracted, and they've got, I think balance is elusive. I don't really think you have balance. I think you just tackle the big things, and then you let everything else fall where it may fall. But there's evidence of the people that I wanted to be around, and it doesn't make a good, bad, or indifferent, but that's what we focus on now.
That's awesome.
It's a blast. And you guys already know this. Like, I'm a huge fan of everything you guys do. I listen to your stuff, and I find myself, like, if you ever pulled up next to me while I'm listening to your podcast, it looks like I'm talking to myself. I'm like, yeah!
Yeah, man!
Like, people pull up next to me and they go, who are you talking to? And I'm like, I'm talking to the guys I'm listening to, you know? Yeah. Because dentistry is just an amazing profession. There's infinite possibilities. More than half of the public, you know, doesn't even go to the dentist. Half of the public doesn't even have, you know, dental insurance. So there's a blue ocean of opportunity out there, and very few dentists ever go broke. The only ones that do something really stupid. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
So it's impossible to go broke. U.S. News and World Report ranked it number 2 again this year. It was number 1 last year. When you look at work-life balance and all the data that supports it, you can't pick a better profession. You just can't.
Yeah,
Right.
I agree.
So I'm pumped to go any direction you guys want to go. That's a little bit of my story. My wife, Sarah, she's just been the backbone of keeping this whole thing going. 3 teenage daughters, and 1 son who's 10, and we're just trying to figure it out like everybody else.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
Yeah,
we all kind of have similar ways that we got into dental. You know, I started in dentistry when I was 27 years old. Had no idea that this was going to be my long-term profession. I was in a completely different industry, but once I got into it, I realized, holy cow, there is so much to work on. I mean, we work with dentists in Arizona that have been in practice for 40 years. And they had no idea what anything about insurance. You know, insurance was new to them, but they've been in practice for 40 years.
40 years, wow.
Right.
And I just started to realize that, wow, there's just so much to do to improve this industry from a service perspective, you know, as a non-clinician. And, and you know, I just kind of stumbled upon the insurance stuff. People call me crazy. It's like, why did you focus on insurance?
Because it's like the biggest problem in the industry.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
But you know, when you resolve those things, it brings the greatest sense of fulfillment, in my opinion. At least for me, I love tackling the difficult. Question about, so you went to Minnesota, then you went to Wisconsin.
Yeah.
So are you a Minnesota's fan, or are you a Vikings or a Packers?
Ooh, good question. No, like I am born and bred. Like there's no options. When you have my last name, there's only one team in the NFL. Now they play a whole bunch of other teams, but if you're going to cheer for anybody other than the Packers, you got to live with somebody else and you got to change your last name. So I tell all my kids that when they're old enough to understand. So my kids are brainwashed just like I am. There is only one team in the NFL. It's the Green Bay Packers. No joke. I mean, he's downstairs right now, but I have a golden retriever. His name is Roger, and named after
Nice.
We don't mess around here. Like the town shuts down. My 92-year-old grandmother refuses to take any phone calls when the Packers are playing. She does not be bothered. It is the focus of her week. So, no, we live, eat, and sleep Packer football here.
Go Pack, go! Same here.
Yeah, you too, Ben. Right?
I've been a Packers fan since Brett Favre was traded from where he came from. Where the Falcons?
Came from the Falcons. Yep.
And he came to Green Bay, and back when Reggie Wright was there, and a lot of my neighbors that have been Packers fans for long. I actually have a neighbor that is his family has season tickets, and so he's been trying to get me to come out to Lambeau, and I just haven't.
You haven't been?
I've
you
not.
haven't been to the Holy Land? Oh my gosh, you gotta go.
I bought
you gotta
shares.
go.
I bought shares back in 2010 when they opened it up after winning the Super Bowl. Was it
me too.
Or 11? And I get the invitation to go every year for the shareholder meeting in July. But something always comes up every year that I get something scheduled for work that I can't go, and this year is no different.
Well, you come up here. I'll meet you up there. We'll meet up there, and I'll give you the ultimate Lambeau experience. But you got to experience that. Now, how old are you, Ben? You're how old?
37.
Okay, so I'm 48. So you might not remember names like David Whitehurst, Lynn Dickey. I had to sit through all those games. So for years and years and years, we got beat up, and then this guy named Favre, which we couldn't get his name right for like a whole season, and Favre. He changed everything. So I was there in the Super Bowl when we went and he won Super Bowl. So it's such a great thing, and everybody's got to have a sports team. You got to have a team. You got to have somebody to root for. But it's fun. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is. It is. I'm trying to get more Utah people here to cheer for the Packers, but
good
we're
luck
a state,
with that. Right?
We're a state without. Yeah, we don't have a nation here in Utah. Nobody. There's no real. My neighbors are either Eagles fans or Denver, Colorado, Broncos, but Packers all the way, man. I love the Packers.
It's good stuff.
Yeah. So hey, shifting into some of the practice management stuff that you do. So as you deal with clients, do you see any trends with regards to insurance? Are more of your clients or more of the dentists that you affiliate with are they becoming more attached to participating with insurance, or a lot of them getting out of insurance? What's been your experience so far?
Yeah, and I love this conversation, especially great question, especially with you guys, because you guys are like the authority in navigating dental insurance. But in 20-some years of being in this great industry, you got to remember, like, it's always been the end. The end is near. I heard some of the best people in all of the profession say, in the next 3 years, there will only be cash and HMO. PPOs will disappear. Dentists are famous for constantly predicting it's over and it never happening. So it's so interesting. And yet the game of navigating around dental insurance, everyone says, oh, it's so much harder now. I don't know if it is harder or not. It is what it is. And the bottom line is that I just find more people are paralyzed because of the amount of information. Now, I'm going to answer your question a couple ways. Number one, I only have one problem with all of dentistry, just one. It's so fear-driven. Everywhere you go, it's fear-driven. It's over dentists. It's suicide, opioid. No. There's so much opportunity and hope on the other side of it. And I think if you can get yourself in the right circles, no different than you being a young professional, you got to get in the right groups. You got to be in the right neighborhood of people that are helping you think correctly. And these kids that are coming out right now, they know there's a world of possibility outside of PPOs, and they're around mentors. When I got started, there were concepts like preceptorships. You got involved, and you had dentists that were willing to give their Fridays. They'd say, come over to my office. I'm going to show you a bunch of things. Don't do what I did. I want you guys to get a good start. It was very much I don't know how to say it, but it was very much a communal type thing. And now we have community, but it's taken a different shape. But I find that the kids that are coming out and they know there's possibilities do really, really well. And they can titrate insurance, adjust the pressure. They can often slow down their participation. But what you guys teach, the membership thing and all of that, that's a no-brainer. If you're listening to this podcast and you don't listen to the other shows that these guys do, that's negligible, because what you guys teach is like, it's the golden no-brain, like, don't even think about it. Like, don't even contemplate it. Don't even try to debate, build a membership, in-house benefits program. It's a no-brainer. Just do it. And once you do that, it's bigger than the program. You start to see that people will pay for things that they value. No different than if you were talking about restaurants, all that kind of stuff. So what I'm seeing is probably no different than what I saw 20-some years ago, because people were scared to death 20 years ago.
Yeah.
They still said the same things. I can't find the right people. Oh, there's insurance is killing everything. Now, it's the same complaints. It's just the people that don't complain are more, engaged. They're more aware that there's opportunity. It's the people that sit and just read, feeds on web pages and think the world's going to end. It makes you nuts.
Yeah.
And so I think there's a certain point where you've got to say, hey, look, I got to be in control of my future. And we would say this if we had young teenage kids on here. You write the chapter in every story of your book. Nobody writes your book, okay? Mm-hmm. This is the United States of America. You're in the greatest profession ever. Stop complaining. Write your chapters. Now, is it going to be a quick book? No. Every chapter, the book has got to get a little bit better. And there's a lot of kids that I have that have gone completely insurance free. But if we had brought them on here, they would never tell you, yeah, it was easy. I did a few things. No, they work hard. They're emotionally engaged. They understand verbal skills are critical. They also have to condition the mindset of their teams. They got to have great systems in place. Everybody wants the medal. Everybody wants to run a marathon and get the medal, but nobody wants to do the training. And so if you understand that the training is part of the benefit and the marathon is the reward, that's part of the journey in dentistry. The journey is the reward. You got to constantly be engaged. And one of the things that Pete Dawson said more than 20 years ago is, Kirk, don't ever say you have it figured out. Never, because you never do. And if you tell yourself, I want to constantly be learning, and it keeps you young, keeps you engaged. And I never, ever want to be the smartest guy in a room. I'm in the wrong room if I'm the smartest guy.
Yeah.
So those
are that.
I think it's the most incredible profession ever. It's just that if you're listening to this podcast, you're probably about 50% ahead of everybody else, because you're listening to what's really going on and you're engaged in hope-based information, not fear-driven information.
Yeah. I love that.
That positive mentality, it makes a world of difference. I remember being in a conference back in 2011, when I was a younger speaker, speaking with people that were twice my age, that had 100 times more wisdom than I did. And I remember some of the participants, as we would go and have dinner with them after the meeting, and a couple of the older dentists, one of which was an NFL player, and he was just bashing the whole thing, all this positive kumbaya crap, might as well just burn the incense and stuff. And he ended up becoming a client, and I noticed that core group of people that were just so negative, compared to the other groups of, the other dentists that were positive, that looked at life and business from the perspective of abundance. There's just a lot to capture out there. There are huge differences in these types of practices, just with the mentality of the leaders or the owners that run those practices. The negative guys, they struggle, and the positive guys, they thrive. So we've created a study club here in Utah. My good friend Kirk Behrent, Jordan, you had lunch with. Well, you had lunch scheduled.
Well, I had to cancel lunch with him, Ben. Thanks for rubbing it in.
What? Yeah. So you blew him off?
No. Yeah. We just rescheduled. I got double booked.
Okay. So, you got double booked.
Yeah, I'm not that rude, Kirk.
We built a study club, and it was the whole intent was to get. To, number one, improve the fee schedule standard here in Utah. A lot of people don't know Utah. The cost of living here has gone up so much just in the last 3 years. I mean,
it has.
The average family can't even purchase a home here in Lehigh, and so we built this study club in an effort to engage in these positive aspects of CE and communication, and getting doctors to get over the fear of insurance and start to embrace it for what it is. And take advantage of the opportunities, learn how to play the games, if you will. And I think the poorest guy in the room, take home money is $250,000. For some doctors, that's not a lot, but for most doctors, that's pretty good,
Yeah.
And that's the culture of the doctors that I found, that, the ones that are positive, especially the ones that were so sick of insurance. And I can't say that anybody should ever be satisfied with insurance, but you can look at it from a positive perspective and find ways to thrive, find ways to capture the abundance.
Right. And what you're doing is fabulous for dentistry, because while you have a study club, the real benefit of it is mindset. You're protecting, because the income and everything, that's the byproduct of it. But when you're in a room such as the one that you're facilitating, you're creating abundance through really great mindset. And that's where everything happens. And you find if you're, you could sit here and debate this, what we're talking about, and say, it's negative. But really, people that are negative, they got problems elsewhere that compound. It compounds into their marriage. It compounds into their relationships at home. And while nobody has to be crazy positive, you just got to be thinking well of the opportunities that are in front of you. And I joke, but this isn't a joke. Like, your best years of your life, they always have to be in front of you. They can never be behind you, because the second they're behind you, it's over. Now we're just looking at sand go through an hourglass, and we're just counting days until it's up for you. And so I find the best are always playing a game to try to find out, how do we create the best years that are in front of us?
I like that.
I love that.
I like that. I remember somebody saying, 5 years ago, they said, 2013 was the greatest year in my profession. And somebody else in the room said, well, what the hell have you been up to since then?
Right.
Yeah.
That's a book no one wants to read.
That's a book.
That's a book. Bill Robbins, one of my favorite. He's 40 years of clinical practice. He's in his late 60s. Every time I see him, he goes, Kirk, there has never been a greater time to be a dentist. Like, there's never been. And I'm like, buddy, it is so great just to be around me. But because by osmosis, what happens when you're around him, all the residue of that just falls on you. And it just blesses your life in so many different ways.
Yeah, I agree. I think having a good positive attitude and just a good attitude helps a lot in life, in business and life, right? I've had challenges. If I were to have a negative mindset, that I probably wouldn't be here today, right? But it's because of a positive mindset in business and life that brings you those awesome opportunities that come at you every day.
Well, Jordan's story is remarkable. 2 years ago. It was 2 years ago, wasn't it, Jordan?
It was back in 2015, I believe.
Yeah. It was 2 years ago. 2 years ago, I'm not going to put words in your mouth, but it was very close to throwing in the towel.
Oh, dude.
And Jordan just stuck it out. He was just so positive about things. And 2 years later, it seems like you've accomplished so much just in the last 2 years. But I think your positivity. I mean, there's just so much to say about positive. I don't know if there's a greater power beyond, in the universe that helps support and helps, reward those that are positive. But it's so true. That positive energy does make a big difference. I remember I used to be a DJ in high school. That was
I didn't know that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Whoa, Ben. What was your
music type thing?
Dude, what was your DJ name? That's what I want to know.
No, it was like 80s rap, or what was it? Do you know
it was everything. We did everything. The funny thing is that my cousin ran this media this business, and I was one of his DJs. My name was Sniff Dog.
Sniff Dog. And, I'm gonna start calling you Sniff Dog now, dog.
You're gonna get the butt end of a lot of jokes.
Sniff Dog.
I heard them all.
Dude, that's hilarious, Ben.
So the funny thing is that when you're playing music for people and you're watching them dance, it influences you as a DJ. Yeah. To what music you're going to play. If people aren't dancing, you immediately change the music. Uh-huh. And you want to find the music that the crowd likes. It was so funny because I showed up to this one meet and we started to get set up and they put curtains around us. And I was like, why are you blocking us from the floor?
Around the DJ?
And yeah, they said we got to see the people in order for us to know what music to play. And they said, no, we're going to give you a playlist. And I asked my cousin, I said, why are we being blocked from everybody? He's like, this is a strip club. He's 13 years old.
You were 13?
I was 13.
Nice.
And that was the only time I couldn't feel the music. I was playing music because it was on a list. Uh-huh. But as a DJ, you have to know how to blend. You have to know how to scratch and do all the other stuff to get and you really move with the beat of the dancers. That's really what it's all about. But that was my first experience where I was going into this blind. Uh-huh. And I kind of think about that those dentists that I used to work with that were in practice for 40 years. That really didn't know what a P&L They didn't know what a
Yeah.
P&L stood for. They didn't
Yeah.
know what assignment of benefit meant. And I wonder, I don't know how it was to practice dentistry 30, 40 years ago. But in this day and age, you can't survive without understanding what EBITDA means,
Yeah, no way. Yeah.
You can't fly blindly because, just like being a DJ, you gotta kind of feel things in the practice and be well connected with all moving parts in the office. So Kirk, you work with the Dental Intel folks, right? Up here in Lehigh?
Love Dental Intel. Love them.
Yeah. They're great guys.
What's your trends with numbers? Because I'm meeting with Kurt. They have a new insurance fee schedule component that I'm going to be checking out here hopefully tomorrow.
Cool.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see how that turns out because, as I got to know the Dental Intel guys, and I'll just tell the short story on this, they came out and they were trying to propose to us, hey, look, we have a better handle on numbers than you do. And I'm like, okay, you guys are kids, and I've been doing this for a long time. I have an Excel spreadsheet that tracks 222 lines of data, and now I think that sounds horrible. But they're like, no, there's only 4 numbers that really drive a practice. And I sat back and I listened to them. I had Weston and Rob Bay, and I've gotten to know Curtis and all those guys over there. And so after about an hour, I'm like, holy moly, you guys nailed it. And, working with some of their chief engineers behind the scenes because they do such a great job of harvesting the data that we need. They make our jobs so much easier. And when you talk about trends, the trends are very powerful because if you're listening to this podcast, here's what I've learned for sure. Without data, you're just having a conversation.
Yep.
And it's so critical to understand what that means. Because I used to have conversations and we would hypothesize on certain things. But when you have data, you now know it's no different than if this was we were a bunch of cardiologists and we're talking about patients. No. The data kind of dispels everything we're talking about, and it gives us a good indicator of whether or not what we're choosing to do is the right thing to do. And so trends that we're seeing, like these guys brought into the whole circle, the hygiene reappointment percentage, also, the metrics behind AR. We talk about visits, you talk about, production per visit. Once a dentist gets their arms around this, now you can choose to really create a better practice and better life because you don't have to work evenings and Saturdays and Sundays like people are losing their minds chasing this production thing when all they're thinking about is more new patients. And what those guys told me and showed me specifically is new patients are often the worst, and they are. They can be the worst. A lot of them don't show up. It's really about not so much new patients, but how do we grow and keep real active patients in the practice? And if you look at their dashboards, and we do it all the time, you can see so easily, I don't care if you have a college degree or not, how you can grow a business by just paying attention. Now, are the numbers most important? No. But really, the numbers tell the story of how you're doing and how you can make adjustments, and making sure that the team is involved is a great way to improve patient care and drive team engagement.
So are you seeing a lot of doctors out there that just, they don't, so not many know resources like Dental Intel or data extraction companies that help make sense of numbers. My experience has been, since I've been in dentistry, is that the numbers aren't really paid attention to, at least among the clientele that I have. What are you seeing among many doctors out there in terms of analysis on practice numbers?
Okay, let me I'll go to the end result, and then we can go to the middle, because I want you to listen to why this would be important. So I just talked to a dentist yesterday, one of our clients. She works 3.5 days a week, and what she nets, you wouldn't even believe me if I told you. She doesn't do a dime of insurance, not a dime of insurance, and she doesn't practice anywhere near a big city. It's because she knows her business in and out. She's also learned how to become a great leader. She's probably one of the best ever at her age. She went through Pankey, went through Dawson, now she's going through Spear. She's learning constantly, and she knows the numbers in and out. So once you get all that together, you can put a formula together for you that just doesn't compete with anyone else's. We have so many young dentists now going 7 to 3, 4 days a week without a lunch. They get a whole day after their day is done. A single doctor can produce well into $1.5, $1.4 million range and keep almost half of it, net half of it.
Wow.
And at that point, you really want to decide, you got to really make a very intelligent decision beyond that, because saying that you're going to produce 1.7 million or 2.1, is really kind of irresponsible and stupid if you don't know the responsibilities that come with it. You're going to be talking about more teeth. Then you also got to do an analysis of your income, because I'll show you on a spreadsheet, the government's going to take a substantial portion of that anyway. And if you've got young children, you can do the math here. Do you want to be a dad, or do you want to crush it and give make a little bit more money and still give a substantial portion of the government? Like, you got to really be a very intelligent person at that point, because most people didn't go into dentistry to make money. They went into it to have a great life, a great profession. Oh, by the way, make a great income, but really because they saw something special with the dentist they saw before them. They were great parents. I have so many dentists that once they get their arms around this, they're like, no, my job is to be a soccer coach. I want to watch my kids grow up. I want to stay married. You know what I mean? And I want to enjoy my life. Most of the clinicians I have, the highest netters and the highest producers in the United States, they don't work 200 days a week. They work 175 to 165 days, but I'll tell you, their decisions are data-driven.
That's amazing.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah.
You just helped me connect the dots as to why I didn't become a dentist.
Why?
My uncle drilled into my teeth without any anesthesia.
Run for the hills.
Oh, boy.
I wanted to hurt him. I was 8 years old and had so many cavities.
You have
how many
issues, don't you?
No, I love him to death. He's dead now. No, he's still alive. But no, I don't. He's a great guy. It's just in the islands. It's either, the way he said it, he says it's either I do this or you're going to lose your teeth. And so I did it.
Yeah. So you're like, all right. Holy smokes.
But the trends in data, it's going to be really exciting to see what you guys do on that front, especially as you start to get more data and compile it, because it's only going to help clinicians out there make an informed decision about how they navigate to the place that they want to go. Because really, the insurance game and what you guys do is so valuable. The rules are going to constantly change. They're changing every time.
Yeah.
They go to dentists that are providers all the time and they go, hey, guess what? We're changing the rules. And all they have to do is inform you in this big written document that comes 30 days prior to them making the change. The dentist doesn't even open up the envelope. They throw it in the trash and they go, what do you mean you're changing the reimbursement rates? Well, that's never going to change because insurance has nothing to do with while they call it, dental insurance, it has nothing to do with the health or the dental needs of anybody. It's all about cost, and it is what it is. So, you're already seeing this where Premier is disappearing in certain states and a lot of dentists are going to the PPO, the regular PPO plans, and they're doing the math on this and they're thinking, gosh, I'm going to have to work twice as hard. And the other thing too, I'm going to say this, if you're a young dentist and you're listening to this, you got to, buyer beware when you're buying somebody's practice who is a Premier provider. You will not be in most cases. You're going to be on the lower level plan. And so many young dentists make that mistake. They go, I bought a Premier practice. I'm like, no, the dentist you bought the practice from is a Premier provider, but you, my friend, are going to be on the most basic PPO plan. So you got to know the ins and outs of that. And then also too, there's so many great resources out there in which you can negotiate reimbursement in some cases. In some cases you can't, but really it's going to be a mathematical formula. And again, you got to know the numbers. So the numbers are just the important piece of this, so you don't go crazy.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
I agree.
I agree.
I know doctors that take really low fee schedules in areas where the average PPO discount is over 40%.
Wow. Well,
and they still produce $1.5 to $2 million, and they take home more than $500,000. It's totally possible if you know how to analyze the
those
numbers.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
Kurt, well, hey, it was gosh, this has been really fun. So where are you up to next? Where's your next speaking assignment? Do you have a list of places you're going to be at next?
Well, I'm very grateful. I love the speaking thing, but one of the things I did years ago when my family was growing is I just basically shut down for the months of the summer. So just June, July, and August, I don't travel, which is really key.
Yeah.
You only get 16 summers with each kid, and so my oldest is 17, and I want to enjoy every single. Now, I still work during the day, but no, I don't do anything until September, and then September through May, I run full speed. Usually speaking somewhere on a Friday, almost every Friday, but I leave on Thursdays and Thursday afternoons, come home Friday nights, Friday afternoons. But so when it comes to Chicago, Hinman, all those meetings, I'll be out there And those things are just a lot of fun. So nothing really on the horizon as far as the summer goes. Just going to enjoy that as much as possible. I'll tell you what I'm really going to do. I'm going to be listening more of your podcast.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, baby.
No, it's great education. I mean, you guys give such great high-level education for free, man. I don't have to get on a plane. I can listen to it in the car, talk to myself, take some notes. It's awesome.
Well, we love yours because yours is video.
Yeah.
And I subscribe to. Well, I'm on your Facebook page, and I get the notifications of everything that you do.
Yeah,
and,
so do I. Yeah.
And we watch them all the time. But I appreciate your endorsement and recommendation of our podcast. It's like a celebrity endorsement. So thank you.
Yeah, it is a celebrity endorsement.
We are all here put to help each other. And man, I tell you, I don't even know what I'm doing yet, but I'm having a lot of fun doing it. And it's just great to be, connected with great people like you guys. So I'm grateful for the opportunity to be on here, and we'll have many more conversations just like this.
Absolutely.
Totally,
Is it okay if we post your Facebook, your website, and your information?
Absolutely. Just do it all. Absolutely.
Okay. We highly recommend you. I mean, if you're not listening to Kirk's podcast, you got to listen to it. It is entertaining. It's educational. It's high level. It's positive. It's full of the abundance mentality, which I really, really love.
Which is very important.
And I there are so many great podcasts out there, and I'd say if I were to pick my top 5, definitely Kirk's podcast is in that top 5. So we'll post all that information in the show notes for anybody that's interested in chiming into his podcast. Kirk, do you have any final thoughts for our listeners?
No, just I would just say this, we only get one shot at this thing called life, but you know what, if you do it right, and there's so many people out there to help you, it's pretty much all you need. You can really enjoy it without any regrets and just enjoy every single day. It's awesome.
Awesome. Well, hey, thanks for being on our podcast. We love the energy.
Yes, absolutely love it.
Anytime. I don't even know what we talked about, but it was fun. You guys enjoy the rest of your day.
Yeah,
thanks,
Kirk.
You too.
All right, thanks, guys.
Okay.
All right, see you, Sniff Dog. Have a good one.
Yeah. All right.
Bye.
Bye.